Hello, my name's Nick and I'm the Chief Product Officer at Electron. Now, much of the work on flexibility in the UK has focused on three areas: reducing friction for participation in flexibility markets, evolving market design to account for different use cases, and coordination between distribution and transmission level flexibility actions. So here are some of the key considerations when developing flex markets that are set up to scale. Number one, lowering barriers to entry. The starting point for the volume value cycle, where increasing volume in markets results in increasing value being assigned to that volume, is making participation as low friction as possible. For example, there has been work in the UK on standardising specific aspects of the workflow, and that includes the technical information that is required about the distributed energy resource required to enter the market, that is, and also the design of the market products themselves. So that helps participants understand both the entry requirements, what data they need to provide, but also, more fundamentally, how the markets themselves are expected to work. Now, we do need to be aware of some of the downsides of over-specifying standards, as ultimately they could become a barrier to participation. For example, if data requirements for entry were too onerous. Another interesting development in the area is the development of a modular or ecosystem approach, where flexibility providers can participate in markets that come from different entry points or routes to market. And we see this approach being rolled out across the UK by some system operators. Number two, system needs and the different types of flexibility provider. There are many different types of flexibility service provider, from aggregators of domestic distributed flex to grid-scale battery optimizers and I&C. These organisations have a different wish list when it comes to how flexibility markets operate. So, for example, a domestic aggregator might prefer markets that are running closer to real time, say day ahead, and that's because they can forecast the behaviour of their end users at that time horizon. So they have a much clearer idea of what they could offer into those markets versus the commitments that are maybe made months ahead of delivery. For system operators, day ahead markets can help both with running the system, but it also is a way to engage that large and growing pool of flexibility that's coming from the distributed domestic flex. On the other hand, let's say in a more rural part of the network, the system operator may want to increase the number of distributed energy resources and LCTs, low carbon technologies, that are being deployed. This will help with both decarbonisation goals and the increase in the amount of flexibility that can be accessed. So in this scenario, a longer term, more stable price signal has benefits, as it signals to those who are potentially looking to deploy those assets, those flexible resources, that there's a dependable revenue stream there. In reality, it isn't one or the other, it's a mix of both. In the UK, we see a combination of both near real-time markets and longer-term procurement being rolled out. And all of that can run on a multi-market platform such as Electron Connect. Number three, coordinating between transmission and distribution levels. Another area of focus in the UK is on the need to make sure there's coordination between the transmission network and the distribution network. And it has three aims. Firstly, we want to avoid conflicts, for example, where an asset is asked to perform conflicting actions at the same time, or where a transmission level action cannot be fulfilled due to network congestion at distribution level. Secondly, to help flexibility providers access as many revenue streams as possible by facilitating revenue stacking. And thirdly, and ultimately, to ensure the optimal flexibility action is achieved across both the transmission and distribution level. The other aspect of this topic focuses on systems integrations, where the market events are more closely linked to the system needs. For example, we can link network systems that forecast upcoming constraints and use those forecasts to define flexibility events in the market. Electron have already performed the first step in this as part of the ongoing BuyTrader project. So this is, of course, an overview of just some of the work that's been taking place in the UK. If you have any questions about these learnings or would like to know more about flex markets or flex market platform like Electron Connect and how that can help your business, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Thank you for listening.